alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you everyone for joining another episode of Sessions with the Sayyid. Sayyidina, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Wa alaikum
barakatuh.
assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Good,
So
good.
for this topic today, it's one that many people may experience or face during their life, and that is loneliness. But from this perspective, we want to see what is Islam's approach to dealing with loneliness. Are we ever truly alone?
Loneliness is something no one wants to experience. Human beings are social creatures. We yearn for the company and the attention of others. And at the same time, we want to make sure that we're never in a position where we feel no one wants to be near us and with us. Many times this is the result of our doing, to be honest with you. Sometimes we leave a negative impression, a bad taste, and a bad image such that people do not find need to come and be associated with us and affiliated with us. Nonetheless, we shouldn't ever deprive people from the attention, the company that every human deserves. Human beings, if you just study anthropologically, are social creatures. We move in packs, we hunt in pairs, we get married, we have children, we work in a society. So to find someone that is lonely, we definitely know for a fact Islam has stressed on this concept because every single aspect of life has been addressed. Loneliness is no exception. The more we will see some discoveries in regards to being alone that could be good as opposed to also bad. There are many things, it's more comprehensive than meets the eye.
So the first question here that I would like to ask is loneliness only when a person doesn't feel or doesn't have, sorry, let me rephrase that. Is loneliness only when a person doesn't physically have anyone, or if they have plenty of people surrounding them, but just, let's say, for example, no one to rely on, like they feel lonely in that regard?
You can have a trillion friends, but if none of them want to be there when the tough gets going and the going gets tough, then you really don't have a circle. You could have 1 million followers on Instagram, but when you need to rely on someone, like you said, then you'll truly figure out who really is your follower and who is just someone that likes to watch what you're doing. Loneliness, the way you said it was beautiful actually, it was almost poetic, Ahmed, where it doesn't have to be the case where you have no one around you, more so than it is you don't have anyone you can rely on. So I can have a family, I can be lonely in my own home. My wife never talks, my children never talk, my children never even want to talk to me. So in that case, I am a stranger in my own house. We can find people in this position, but we also find solutions to this. It's not end all be all. I know for a fact that you can prove this is one of the worst places to be in. How? Because, criminals, the worst punishment people can give them is what? Aside from like execution, is solitary confinement. Even criminals, for goodness sake, when we throw them in jail, rightfully so, some of them are murderers, some of them are major league thieves, but still, we make sure that they're with others because it's almost inhumane to deprive the human from human interaction. When you see one of them became very wrong, oppressive, unjust, then they take him to another level called solitary confinement, where you're in pure solitary. No one can communicate, no one can interact. It's almost like pitch black. That is one of the worst places to be. Some people, they live like this without being in jail anyways. They need company, they yearn for the attention. There's nothing wrong with saying I want attention. I mean, at the end of the day, we'd rather have attention than not have attention. And we'd also, of course, we hope that attention is positive, it's for good reasons, but you don't want to feel like you're alone out there. You want to know that someone's thinking about you. This is a beautiful hadith by Imam Ali, I think we said it before, where be the type of person where when you live with people, they love your company. When you're away with them, they yearn for your company, and so forth. So you're absolutely right, Loneliness doesn't only mean that you don't have people around you, whereas it's more so you don't have people that you can rely on with you. So always evaluate and ask yourself the question, how many people can I rely on? Because there are fake friends. I hope you can rely on me anytime, man.
Of course.
I'm being very serious. And likewise, inshallah. But basically, I can have all these people that they're smiling, but behind those eyes, in reality, someone, the moment I am in distress, they couldn't care less. So it's always helpful to see, am I lonely without realizing that I am? Who can I rely on? My family? Can I rely on them? My friends, etc. Reevaluate this. And if you see there's work that needs to be done with some people that you feel should be more alert to this, then work on them. It could, especially if it's like your family members. You know, my son, he's never talking to me, he's never whatever. Let me work on our relationship. My friends, they're calling themselves buddies with me, but is it because they have an interest in me that I might be the guy they go to for work opportunities? Otherwise, if I didn't have that reach, they probably wouldn't be affiliated with me. I want to have people that don't need me for my services, rather they want me for who I am. So am I lonely or not? You have to make sure you always reevaluate who you have in your circle.
So for the people that struggle to find like a social circle, rather than people who already have a social circle, but
Yeah.
they don't have anyone to rely on, what are some ways to create a social circle for those who need one? Or
What
are
is
looking
a
for one?
social circle, Ahmed? What is that exactly?
To me, it's more so a friend group, but more like a close friend group. Not just like you mentioned, friends who are just, you can't really rely on them. You're just associated with them, or you know them through mutual friends. More so a group that you're very closely connected with.
Got your back. But one way to do that is to become familiar with one another. That's how friendships are. That's how they work. You start off with, hey, what's your name? How are you? Salam. How is everything? Let's meet. Let's go see. Let's go to the masjid. There are things you can do. Send them links to like your favorite YouTube lectures. Hopefully some of them are me, others, etc. See what you have in common with them. And then it gets to the point where you realize that this is the kind of person I'd like to have part and parcel of my life. But you have to learn to choose your friends wisely. And there's a beautiful hadith where Imam Ali gives a number of pieces of advice to his son Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Of course, he's doing this to show us and give us a lesson. Imam Hassan knows, being the Imam of Ahlul Bayt, etc. My son, never befriend a fool, for they will abuse you without knowing it. Someone who's a fool will not be able to realize they're causing more harm than good, because they're foolish. There are people, they like to joke around, but in an obnoxious, unnecessary manner. And now you bear the brunt of their association. That's that guy's friend. We always see that guy likes to joke about very inappropriate things. You also will be held accountable to that, because look, you are the sum of your friends, for example. Never befriend a liar, because a liar is someone that'll tell you what you want to hear, but when you're not around, they'll tell other people different things. So these guys are a liar. They'll just tell you what you want to hear. Never befriend a backbiter. Never befriend. A list goes on and on and on. So you got to use this evaluation sheet. Don't necessarily have a paper and evaluate. Look at them. Look at the rules. Look at them again. You miss one of the boxes. I can't, Habibi. No, but people can be worked on. We're not saying everyone is perfect, and you're not looking for that. But you're looking for someone in life that you can feel comfortable knowing that if I need any of their help, they got me. And it's worth having that one real friend than having 100 of those that like to pretend they're with you, but there's only an interest that they have. It could be a shared interest. Me and him, we only talk because I got the answers to the exam, because my father owns the dealership and I can get him discounts, and so every now and then they'll send me Eid messages, whatever, to reaffirm that we're on good terms. But I want the guy that can send me a message any other time. Hey man, been thinking about you lately. I hope you're doing well. Let's meet up, inshallah ta'ala. How are things? By the way, there are friends out there where you can go like a month without talking to them, 2 months without, but then the moment you meet them, it's like you were hanging out yesterday. What's up, Habibi? Have you been? So what's going on lately? And it's like you just rekindle. That is also very beautiful to see. But the more we can connect our friends to the principles that we want to have with ourselves, the better it is for our social circle. And I think one thing we can do is to make sure we can diversify our social circle. Have a friend from a part of the world that you're not associated with. Don't cocoon yourself too much. Have a friend that's not from your same ethnicity. Have a white friend, a black friend, a this friend, a that friend, an Asian friend. Have friends out there so long as they tick all the boxes of decency and human rights and akhlaq and mannerism. One of them is very funny. The other one has a really unique skill set. You surround yourself with people they now become your resources as well as great company. Ultimately, a friend is one that reminds you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. Not saying that they're telling you hadith X, hadith Y, Quran ayah 1, 2, and 3. More so, they're not at least saying stuff that's taking you away from the dhikr of Allah. When we say remember Allah, it doesn't mean they're telling you, hey, did you read this ayah today? It's more so, they're not bringing things that brings about the displeasure of God Azza wa Jal. You have friends, but you always have that one friend that unfortunately likes to talk about his desires too much. Is just very perverted minded. At the end of the day, you're turning from a friend to someone I don't want to be with, because I'm not comfortable with you surrounding my family members. So why would I tolerate me being surrounded by you if I'm so sure that I will be safeguarded from you? How can I guarantee that? So there are aspects that one needs to keep into consideration. One of these aspects is the amount of influence a friend can bring on another person. There's a story by a man by the name of Alsheraa, famous story from Yemen. He wanted to become a Muslim, but then his friend came and said, hey, what are you doing? Become a Muslim? Why? Islam, they equate men and women. He's like, that's good. Islam, they make the black and the white the exact same in the eyes of their God. He's like, that's good, man. He's like, in Islam, so this friend, see, there are people, they are working shaitans, shayateen al-insi wal-jinn. There's a shaitan that's the jinn. We don't see that guy. That guy just waswasa. Then there are people, this guy, this bad boy, give me your arm. He takes your arm, let's go. So this man is grabbing you and pulling you. So there's more complication in regards to resisting that guy. Because although a shaitan that's in the jinn format can do is just whisper, do this, do that. Shayateen al-ins, the Quran mentions them, are people that when they grab your hand, they like to grab and they pull you. So now you have to actually resist physically the temptation because they're literally holding you back. This guy, Al-A'sha, his friend is doing everything to his power to prevent Al-A'sha from becoming a Muslim. The straw that broke the camel's back was when Al-A'sha said to him, listen man, nothing's going to happen. His friend replied, in his religion, he's banned alcohol. Al-A'sha was a serial alcoholic drinker. The man was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, in his religion, he has this ayah of the Holy Quran, إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ وَالْمَيْسُرُ وَالْأَنصَابُ وَالْأَزْلَامُ رِجْسٌ مِّنْ عَمَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ فَاجْتَنِبُوهُ. That alcohol is a defilement from the devil. Avoid it. It's like, dang it, are you serious? He's like, yeah. He said, listen, I want the best for you. Be a Muslim. Look how they mischievous, conniving, right? I want the best for you. Be a Muslim. But drink for the next year. After 1 year of just drinking, go and become Muslim. Al-A'sha drank. He drinks, you can imagine, he drank his head off. He drank beer, wine, whiskey, all these brands. Coming here, we saw all the signs on the wall, so that's how I know this. Drinking left, right, and center, a whole year spent drinking. Until the guy, a year passed, was like, yeah, a year's over. Now he wants to go and become Muslim. So he leaves Yemen, he goes to Medina. On his way, halfway, as soon as he gets closer and closer, he gets ill and he dies. That man missed the opportunity because of a lousy friend. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed an ayah of the Holy Quran talking about this guy's feelings after he died. يَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. The day the one who has oppressed themselves will bite their hand. Have you ever seen a parent when they get mad at their child? They go like this. They bite their hand. It's like, you're going to get it. You're going to get a slap soon. Maybe some of us have first-hand experience. But يَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا. How I wish I took the path of the Prophet, for goodness sake. I wish I took it sooner. يَا وَيْلَتَى لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أَتَّخِذْ فُلَانًا خَلِيلًا. Woe is me, woe upon me, etc. How I wish I didn't take fulan as my Khalil. When we hear about Ibrahim being the Khalil of Allah, the friend of God, how I wish I never took so-and-so as my friend. Why? لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ. They took me away from the remembrance of Allah after it came to me. وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. So shaitan always misguides people. Shaitan here in reference to the shayateen al-insi wal-jinn. Shaitan, sometimes when he sees a person doing his job and his role, you know what he does? He just lays back like this. It's all right. You're doing my job. Shay is just chilling. He's like, okay, man, you're doing the work for me. What do I care? He's working his socks off. He's the personified devil. Now we have to watch out. Do I have any friends like that that are taking the role of shaitan temporarily for me? Reevaluate. Do I have a friend that all he does is he draws me towards haram? All he does is he watches haram, listens to haram, eats haram. Literally, everything you've put inside your system is haram. Eat, listen, watch. The whole system is filled with spiritual impurities. Why is that guy in my life? What do I have to do with him? I can try to help him because I want the best for my friends, right? Like, bro, you gotta fix up, man. Fix up, man. This is not the way you do things. Don't you want a family? Don't you want etc.? But if the guy can't help himself, how are you going to help him? No, I don't say give up on people. No, there's always hope, right? Even if you're in the last moments of your life, there's always hope. But you need to fasten your seatbelt first before you help fasten other belts, right? You know, on the plane, they always tell you, make sure you get your mask on in the case of an emergency before other people. How am I supposed to help you if I haven't helped myself first? So I need to help you as much as I can, but to the point of where it becomes jeopardizing to my character, that's where I'm going to have to stop. Being associated with you that much can affect me. So there are friends I need to avoid in regards to my social circle. I need to learn how to identify them. Then there are friends that I most definitely want in my social circle.
Another question that comes to mind here, and to wrap up, inshallah, is we look at the Imams of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and they are prime examples of people who have dealt with loneliness. How can we learn from them?
You know, with all ends, and you don't see yourself finding a good group of people, always take the example of our masters and leaders. Ahlul Bayt, you know, many of them carry the title Gharib al-Ghuraba. Many of them carry such titles like the lonely and the stranger, etc. Why? Because there's the hadith that says that the alim is a stranger from the amount of juhal that are around him. The alim is a lonely man from the amount of ignorant people around him. He's lonely. So Ahlul Bayt, what would that make them? No one is up to their degree. So they are completely outstanding. No one is like them. Yes, they have companions, but when the whole world turns its back against you and you're calling out on the field of Nainawa, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, and literally no one comes except 72, that you're a lonely bunch of people. The ummah's over 1 million by that point. You're a lonely bunch. 72, of all that, you're lonely. However, to be lonely in this state would be commendable, because I would rather avoid having bad company than having any company at all. And I can take a big source of example and inspiration from my Imam himself, the Imam of my time, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. Why? Because yes, I might not have people that I could associate with outside of the home, but at least I have the home with my family. I might not have too much family, but I could have that one friend, alhamdulillah. Where is the family for Sahib al-Zaman? Where is that close buddy for Imam al-Mahdi? Where are his companions? Where are his Zurara ibn A'yun, like the Zurara to Imam etc. like for to Imam al-Mahdi. So I should always remember, no matter how lonely it gets for me, always remember the Imam of your time is like you as well at times, and you share the same night sky with him. And furthermore, if you have Allah, don't worry about anyone else. If you have Allah, you have everything. If God is with you, then the whole world can be against you. You have everything because you have God, because God is the ultimate source of everything that is khair. And that's all I want from friends anyways. And if it doesn't come from them, no problem. It comes from the Imam of my time, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But alhamdulillah, inshallah, and then hopefully it comes from good company, such as yourself, such as other good mu'minin and mu'minat that are out there. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring about a good union of brotherhood and sisterhood for all of our Muslimin in the world today, inshallah.
Very well said, Sayyidina. Ahsant. Thank you again for joining us for today's episode of Sessions with the Sayyid.
Habibi.
And inshallah, we would love to have you back for more episodes.
Inshallah. Thank you, Habibi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaykum assalam.